I'm back. All right, traders out there in trader land, D7 here with Grok Trade. And what you see here is my new abode. I'm in a townhouse with my family in Tampa, Florida, west side, called West Chase. Not west side, north side. West Chase, Florida is where I now reside. More on that at the end of the video. But let's take a look at a few things. I'm going to start off with Apple, okay? Apple. And this is the weekend edition of video that's going to go through Monday. Listen, you'll be watching this by Tuesday, hopefully. But this will round out the month. Memorial Day weekend, and we do pause and we do honor those that sacrifice the ultimate sacrifice for this great nation. But anyway, a lot to talk about after the video, but let's get to this. I want to start off right now. I want to start off on Apple, and I want to share something with you. Apple is in a significant symmetrical triangle, a big one, and we're at support. The thing that worries me here is we drop down, and we're staying down. We're staying low here. Normally you get down the support line, you bounce. You get support line and bounce. This went down and started to bounce, but immediately came back, and then tried to bounce and immediately came back. We're right there at it. Big 200-day moving average coming up, acting as support. Guys, Apple tends to honor the 200-day. So what you want to do here is be very careful. If we go below the 200-day or this lower trend line, that's going to be bad news for techs. So the market will be watching this very closely. If Monday we drop down, or Tuesday we drop down to start off June, and we rally back up, closing, giving us a hammer, that will be a good thing. I'd like to see a hammer like we see here, right there. Will we see it? I don't know. All I know is we're below the 50 and the 20-day moving average. The 200-day is being threatened to break down below on Apple. So this is bad news for Apple. If I take a quick look at the weekly, you'll see the weekly, we're right at a major area of support, guys. We got to watch that. I mean, technically, I'm looking, this is the moving average for my, actually, guys, it's worse than that, I think. Let me see something. Let's go here to there. Actually, I want to go from there to there. Let me see. This is the weekly. So we broke the weekly. So the weekly trend line, guys, has been broken. Let me go to the line chart and check this out. Boom, boom. We broke below it. Guys, Apple's in trouble. The weekly lower trend line has been broken on Apple. The daily, we're right at it. Chances of this breaking down is really high. The only way to save this right now is to get a rally up to the upside. That will give us a jab on the weekly. I'm using terms you may not know. If you're not a student with us, you wouldn't know some of these terms. But we get a jab, and that would be really bullish going to the upside if we get this. But the only way for that to happen is for this next week, for Apple to have a nice rally to the upside. We need to get above 128. If we get above 128 on Apple, that will be a really good thing. We got to see that. That's what we're looking for. Okay, now let's start looking at the markets as a whole. If you look at this, I want to start off with Spider. Spider, if you look at this, the S&P 500, we're up. Here's a jab. We rally up, but we're just melting to the upside, guys. We're just melting to the upside. We're above moving averages. That's a good thing, but we're not going anywhere fast. This could be a topping formation. We could be seeing that right now. If I go over here to the weekly chart, the week's over, guys. Okay, this is the Spiders, S&P 500 Spiders. The week's over. We have a big rising wedge. It's a tight rising wedge. But look at this. We're bouncing up from it. The only hope we have is if the weekly continues to rally north. We have got to see a significant bullish market this next week. We have to see it. If not, we could be seeing a top in the markets when we could start dropping at that point. And if you haven't done so, look at the very last video I did. And thank you, Romulus, for stepping in and doing all those videos for me. I so appreciate you doing that. And if you guys know, he's a rock star. He does a fantastic job. And so if you go back, review my last video and look at the things that I was seeing and look at what happened, okay, since that time. It's been a long time since I've done a video, guys. I want you to see if any of that came true, and I think you will be highly impressed. All right, so here's the deal. The spiders, the weekly chart, we are teetering with this lower trend line. We have to stay above it, but this is a rising wedge. We have a bearish divergence on the MACD. This just looks bad. We have this topping type formation. The month is over. And if I look at the monthly chart on the spiders, we have a hanging man trend or reversal candlestick. A hanging man after an extended run to the upside. Of course, that is a reversal. Of course, this is a great time for sellers to come in. That's just what it looks like to me. That's what it looks like. All right, so that's the spiders, okay? Diamonds look very similar. This is the Dow 30. You look here, we're just melting to the upside. See this? Just melting to the upside. If you look at the weekly chart, you know, we're above all major moving averages. We're starting to bounce again. Let's see what happens. You look at the monthly, we're just melting upwards on the Dow. Okay, on the diamonds. Let's go to the NASDAQ. Here's the tech stocks, okay? Tech stocks. We're down. We rallied up here, but I want to open this up so you can really see it. These trend lines are pretty important. We're above the moving average, so we have a high base. This is usually bullish. We go up, high base, and we rally. The reason I'm not all excited about this is because anytime I get a rally up and a high base below a previous swing high, so we're sub this area, we're lower than this, those things tend to fall apart. I don't make a ton of money off of these type of high bases. I love high bases. Probably the second most profitable chart pattern that I trade. Falling wedges, the most profitable. I probably made the most money off of falling wedges than anything else. But high bases definitely a close second. But I don't like them if they're sub this level. I want a high base making all-time highs. I want them up there above all previous price action. That's what I'm looking for. So the NASDAQ is just going sideways. It's moving sideways. We're above moving averages, but the moving averages are coiling together right now. So we could start to pinch here and then look for an explosion to upside or downside. So we got that consolidation that's starting to form at this moment. If you look at the weekly chart, sometimes the weekly can give us some more guidance. The weekly had a rising wedge. The weekly failed to hit resistance right there. Do you see this? We hit it here, we hit it here, we failed to hit it there. So that showed relative weakness. We dropped, we broke a support line, support there, support down here, okay? We support. We broke it. Support now acts as resistance. Resistance now drops. We're starting to pop. So I put another trend line here. So we had a rising wedge there. Now we have a sloping rising wedge right here with a big time bearish divergence on tech stocks on the weekly chart, guys. So watch this lower trend line. If we get below the 20-week moving average, that's going to be bad news for technology. Bad news, okay? We need to rally, make these new highs. If we don't continue to do that, look for a top to be getting put in place. We could be seeing that. This summer could get really bearish for us. And I'd always like to look at the monthly, and I want to show you the monthly. This trend looks like it's just going up and it's a mess. It's not. Let me go to a line chart and you'll see it better. Support now is broken. We are on the wrong side of this support line. Rallies up. We hit the head and we dropped. Do you see that? So this is something it's trying to rally north right now, but it's telling me we are topping out. We're going higher with the MACD starting to diverge right down there. So this is on the monthly, guys. The month's over. So it's looking really, really toppy to me. Really toppy. All right, so small caps I'm getting ready to go into small caps and the financials. Those guys will tell the tale, okay? We lean mostly on the S&P 500. We lean mostly on the spiders to look at what we have going on. But when it comes to who's leading the charge, what direction, and we'll pull the markets that way, look at financials, look at small caps and Russell's 2000. Let's go into Russell's 2000 first. IWM, let's take a look here at the daily chart. We have a falling wedge. We broke out to the upside on the daily chart, guys. So small caps broke out above this. If you go to a line chart, you'll really see it. We go up, 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 and we're pausing right there. As long as we can stay above this line and these moving averages, all is well with this. So we have resistance, resistance. We broke resistance. That's a really good sign, guys. A really good sign. I would actually plot one more line. I'd go from there to there. And we need to stay above that red line. That red line is really important to me. So stay above this blue and the red line, all is well with small caps. So if that holds true, if small caps continue to move upwards, we have a prayer this next week with the markets continuing to go higher. We have to see that. I'm telling you, we have to see it. If not, we're putting in a top. It's going to be a very turbulent and bearish June. Let's look at the weekly and see if we're okay. The weekly on small caps, it goes up, 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 and building. Look at this. It's building a bullish pennant, guys. On the weekly chart, we are looking pretty well. And it looks like it's starting to break out right now, guys. I'd like to see it get past those highs, but we are really starting to go right now. Get past these highs, get past 230, 230. This thing could be ready to rock and roll on the weekly chart. You're saying there's a chance. Man, small caps are giving us hope that we could be okay. Now, the only thing I want to look at, let's look at the monthly, and then let's go to the financials. If I go over here to the monthly, here I want to see what's going on. The monthly, up, 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 very extended. This is a good place to get a big monthly pullback. So we do have a hanging man, but what's it's a look at all the chops. Look how all the upper shadows and look at all the lower shadows. These upper shadows, those lower shadows show big time fighting taking place. What makes it more bearish and bullish is because it's at the top of a leg and we're melting up. That melting up is a rolling over. That's usually more bearish than it is bullish. It's much easier to sell in that environment than it is to keep buying. So the monthly I don't like as well as I like the weekly. The weekly looks really good. The monthly not so much. The daily not so bad either. But the monthly is like, ooh, it's got a hard road ahead to keep going higher. Okay, here are the financials. Very important that we know what's going on the financials. XLF. Here's the daily on XLF. We're in an uptrend. Two blue lines going up, 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 up. All is well. We like that, like that, like that. Then we go into this pinching rising wedge. We need to get above that trend line, this red one, to stay valid, buoyant, to stay bullish in the markets. We have to get above this. We really need to get above and stay above 38.40. If we can get above 38.40 area, 38.50, that will be really good for XLF. We have to push up. Let's see what the weekly has for us. So the weekly extended run to the upside. I mean, we've had a really stellar few months. And we're building a high base. Guys, financials are building a high base, almost a pennant type formation. That is really good. If we can get over $38, that'd be great. Stay above 38, break out. We'll be at 40 soon. So that's a really good pattern. I like what I'm seeing there. This week really bailed us out. Okay, let's see what the monthly is sharing with us. If you go over here to the monthlies, there's no reversal candlestick pattern. It's still going north. Bound. So that's really good. We're extended. We're long in the tooth. Are we overbought? Perhaps, depending on what settings you use. But right now, this is a big, solid run with financials to the upside. The government is running this economy red hot. They're pumping so much money into this. It's hard for banks to fall. It's hard for it to fall. And when you look at sector rotation, I don't want to get too deep into this, but you're seeing very bearish signs on the sector rotation side. But what's interesting is you've got these financials staying so strong that it's just impossible for a bearish sector rotation to take place with the strength of these financials. Very, very interesting to see. U.S. dollar is on the daily chart. Look at this. It broke. Whoops. Let's say daily chart. Daily chart. We had a falling wedge. We broke out. So that's bullish. So the US dollar is now going bullish. It's in bullish territory. We got to get above the 20-day moving average to really stay there. If you look at the weekly chart, we had this falling wedge. We broke out. Here's our pullback. We're getting a rally up. This is inverted head and shoulders. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Look for a rally to the upside. That's what we're seeing here. Bullish divergence on the MACD. The US dollar will put pressure on equities and precious metals with the strengthening of the US dollar if we do decide to go higher. Here's the monthly dropped, we popped. So this still looks bullish to me. Everything looks bullish in the US dollar. Silver, guys. Silver, look at this. Big triangle, we go up, high base. This thing, if it can break through these trend lines, this is big time bullish activity. We could go bullish on silver. The weekly chart already broke out of the triangle and heading higher. It looks good to me. And if you look at the monthly, we finally this month got above a trend line. Guys, for the month, for silver to get above that trend line is monstrous, is so good, so bullish. So if you look at this, if you go to a line chart, we were back here in 2011 monthly, 2020, and then 2021, and then we finally broke above it. Guys, that is so good, so bullish. So as long as we can stay above this trend line, stay with your silver because there could be a lot of upside potential there. Gold might be a different story. Let's just take a look at it. Gold is up, up, up. The problem with this up, up, up was, I'll have to blow it up so you can see it. So you can really, it's going to be hard to see. This is gold, okay? Let me get my lines spot on. Uh-oh. No, we're going to be fine now that I've tweaked my lines to be spot on. And you guys who are the 401s, look how that's flat right there. Do you see that flatness and how it's parallel with that? And look at the flatness here. See that flatness? Isn't that interesting? These institutions using these lines, and look how it's flattening out right there also. So we're okay, guys. We're okay. Let me get a line here. Do that line. Go to that. So that's kind of what we're dealing with right here. We need to stay above that blue line and ideally get above that red line. But you can see what we have here when I go back and forth. That's what we have. Very, very interesting times. But that's the daily chart. If you go here to the gold on the weekly chart, has had a big extended run to the upside. We're right here at resistance area, but I don't see a candlestick reversal pattern. There's a good chance we could blast through that, but we are extended and we are at resistance. So let's see what happens there on the weekly chart. If you go to the monthly on gold, we go up, 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 we drop support, we break support. Support now should be resistance. That's why I'm saying I'm not as excited about gold, because we're at a major resistance point and there's a good chance we'll see selling come into that. But we are building what's called a bull flag, and that is more bullish and it is bearish. So if it's a true bull flag, it will just blast through those resistance lines with no problem. No problem. Quick look at VIX. We're down, 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 and we have a dragonfly doji down here at a support area. And this is the daily chart on the VIX volatility index, which is the fear indicator. So it's down, 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 but it's a trend reversal or a candlestick reversal. We're down, down, down. We get a shooting start there. We drop. Now we have a dragonfly doji, and that's a good chance to get a bounce. If this goes higher, that means the markets are going bearish. So that's the daily chart. And if you look here on the weekly chart, what's interesting on volatility is we dropped below a support area. We rallied up into major resistance, 2 trend lines, and we immediately dropped from there. If we could stay below this trend line, all the moving averages on the weekly chart, that would be bullish for the markets, really bullish. And there's the monthly. Okay, just a quick look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a big pullback. This is the weekly. Bear with me a second. I want to go to the daily first. Had a big pullback, and I want to straighten up this line. Major falling wedge. I love falling wedges. I've been buying on this drop on cryptocurrency, more cryptocurrency. But this, look, if it can break above that trend line, guys, look for Bitcoin to rally north. If I look at the monthly or weekly, I have a Fibonacci. So we'll look at this. So I went to the extreme low on this Fibonacci, okay? Extreme low right there. Let me tighten it up just a hair. And I drew the Fibonacci to this extreme high. And I'm going to drop it just a hair. Okay. Look where we're bouncing. We closed there. We opened and closed there at the 50% Fibonacci. This is a great buy area. You can see a lot of support right here. This would be a great place to see it. And what's funny, guys, I was telling people at these big highs when we got up near $65,000 on Bitcoin. It's like 64. Oh, I can just tell you. Holy, it's almost $65,000 what we got up to. I said I'm begging for a 50% haircut so I can buy in. Guess what I've been doing? I've been buying in. I got my 50% haircut. I love this volatility. Every time it drops, makes these, I buy in. When I get decisive confirmation, I buy more. So I am buying right now, and I'm looking to buy more on more confirmation. But I really like on Bitcoin this falling wedge on crypto. So that's it. So that's it. I hope that I didn't bore you to death with this. I drink these soda waters like they're going out of style. So let me bring everybody up to speed. I used to live in Indiana, north side of Indianapolis, called Carmel or Westfield. That's where I resided with my family for years and years and years. Lived in Carmel and then Westfield, 20 plus years. And now I'm in the finance business. Legally, I can't even talk about it, so you won't hear me talking about it. But it has to do with my trading algorithm. And in moving to Florida, I had to be here to be able to run my financial business legally. So I moved my whole family here, and we are enjoying it immensely. What you're looking at here is the bedroom. My wife's actually taking a mid-afternoon nap. And my two girls, this is a 3-story townhouse, and so they're above me. We're on the middle level, and our living quarters are downstairs. But I have an office in the Sykes building, S-Y-K-E-S, and it looks like a grain silo, and it's iconic. If you guys watched the Super Bowl and after Super Bowl, here in Tampa won the Super Bowl, the Buccaneers, and Tom Brady, they were doing a boat parade where Tom Brady threw the trophy from one boat to the other. I look down at that from my office. It's right there. Beautiful. It's just I look at the river area going into the Gulf, all the cityscape on the other windows. It's fantastic. Love it. Now we're in a place called West Chase. We're in West Chase on the north side of Tampa. That's where we reside. And it's crazy. We have a pond next to us. There's 4 alligators in it. And it's like, man, I've never been around alligators. I haven't lived that close to big reptiles like this before. We have very few poisonous snakes where we live in Indiana. And there's plenty of them here. But anyway, that's the long and short of what's going on. And if any of my followers happen to be here in the Tampa area, you contact me, des@groktrade.com. We'll go have lunch or whatever. It'd be great. Have coffee. I'm not a morning guy. Listen, if we have coffee, it's going to be a 10 a.m. coffee, okay? That's just how I roll. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. But that's it. I do Romulus and Mark the Meerkat. They are just killing it. I mean, these guys in my absence, I'm never totally absent. I work with Keisha, which, you know, a Grok girl, who oversees the operations of everything, and I'm in contact with her a lot. John's, our trading coaches, and those who onboard people into our training, and we have a nice team. But Romulus, he's got a club that he's working on. It's all brand new, and if you guys haven't done so yet, there's a program you can do called Discord, DIS Cord, CORK, or Discord, D.com, and look up Grok Trade, and it's free, and that's where we all get together and we talk shop. We talk about the trades we're in. We can post our different charts that we're interested in, stocks that we're trading, or cryptocurrency that we're trading, and we're hundreds now. We got a lot of people. We're just getting started with that. But find us if you want to. If you feel like you're on an island by yourself, feel free to join us. And if you're just getting started in trading, go to freeonlinetradingeducation.com and take the 101 courses. And there's free trading tutorials that Mark the Meerkat does. You get six trading videos, tutorials that tell you the basics of trading. You know, really, we take the complexities and make it really simple. Feel free to jump into those. I think that'd be something that you're interested in. But listen, and I don't say this lightly, what I'm getting ready to say, and it's on a somber note, but it's hard for me to call this weekend a holiday weekend, and because it's not a holiday. And this is the time that we honor, we pause and give reverence, and we honor those men and women who have given the ultimate sacrifice for this great country. And as Grok Trade, I just want to, on behalf of Grok Trade, say we do honor our military folks who are no longer with us, and we great respect to all of them and all the soldiers and those in the military today who also put their lives on the line. So anyway, with that, don't need to browbeat here or be too somber, but I hope each of you guys have a great weekend. It's fantastic to be back. I'm at a standing desk right now, and I don't have a backdrop. You just see my life. This is our backdrop. So anyway, I love you all, and we'll be in touch. We'll keep doing these videos. We'll see you guys. Bye. I gotta find out where the stop button is. Where it's a new trading setup. I gotta figure all this out. Where'd we go? Where'd we go? Where'd we go? Da 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 da.